Trevor Scott. I am here. Good afternoon to you. What a lovely day it is in the Riverland. You wouldn't think it was the winter solstice today. The sun is out, the birds are chirping reportedly, and it's a lovely day here at Loxton. Nobby Norton's alongside me as well. Trevor Scott.
G'day Trev, g'day Lockie, g'day everyone tuned in today. Beautiful conditions as Lockie's just said here at the Loxton Oval. Only one problem, we have a wet spot at centre half forward going towards the swimming pool, and looked like maybe a sprinkler malfunction, but it's definitely not ground under repair as you'd have in golf, so just probably have to play through it, I reckon.
Might be one to keep an eye on this afternoon. Look, both sides out on the oval at the moment warming up. We've got Loxton going with a traditional football warm-up, a bit of kicking, a bit of handball, getting the voice up. Loxton North going with the more 2025 spec, where you've got the witches hats out, or the cones for training. They've got the high-vis vests on. They're doing some match simulation stuff, and I'm not sure which one works in Riverland football, but this afternoon we'll find out. In all seriousness though, Nobby, today's game, very important. Round 8, halfway of the Riverland Football League season. Both sides need to win today to get their season underway properly.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a grand final type crowd here, and it's a grand final type game for these two teams, because not that it would be impossible, but you couldn't help but think that the side that doesn't come away with the victory today is going to find it very difficult to make the final four. So I think it's almost a grand final within a season here. Plus, there's always a keen rivalry anyway, and we saw Loxton North win the Proud Cup in the first round out at their ground at Panther Park, and I think Loxton will be looking, while they can't get the Proud Cup back, they can get bragging rights back today. So, look, I'm thinking that there's plenty on the game, and plenty for listeners to tune into. One change in the Loxton lineup that we had put in front of us. Out goes Tristan Jackson, and in comes the emergency number 21, Nikos Katsadis. For Loxton North, pretty much unchanged as they listed, but I did notice that two veterans returning to the lineup. Ryan Proud after an 8-goal effort in the seconds last week, and Josh Nelson for his 250th game, Lockie.
Yeah, look, Josh has taken a little bit of time to get there, I guess. A couple of significant injuries over the journey, but certainly what you'd define as a club man for Loxton North. Premiership captain back in, I want to say, 2013, maybe 2011 as well. So done a fair bit for the club. Come back to the A grade in recent times as well after a bit of a stint there in the twos for a couple of years there. So, yeah, still putting his hand up for selection.
And talking 2013 grand final, Ryan Proud was the Murray Pioneer best on ground in that grand final here on this very oval, I reckon, from memory.
Yeah.
And so he returns to the lineup as well, probably wishing and wanting to finish his career over a 300-game senior player for Loxton North. Probably wanted to finish his career in the B grade, but form is something you can't ignore, and 8 goals in the seconds will always get you a game in the ones the following week.
Too true. This is 5-0 Riverland football for McDonald's at Renmark. Peak chicken is upon us with the new McWings at Macca's. Let's just recap how both sides have got here today. Loxton have had a couple of wins. They were able to defeat Barmera Monash a little bit earlier this year.
Yep.
And so too Loxton North getting a win over the last year's runners-up and the premiers before that. And both other sides also getting a win a little bit earlier in the year as well. So captain's about to toss the coin, and we'll soon work out which team is going at which way. Coin up in the air. And it is Jesse Will, the Loxton captain, that has won the toss, and he'll be kicking to the Pine Avenue or swimming pool end here at Loxton.
As opposed to the Berry end, we'll call the other one, will we?
Yeah, I think we'll roll with that this afternoon. The town end. Wind's not much of a problem this afternoon, around 15 kilometres an hour gusts or wind speed. A little bit earlier when I checked, some north-northeasterly winds flowing in. So not sure if it's going to impact too much, but Jesse Will taking what advantage there may be.
Yeah, you were out in the ground earlier. Did you have the player comfort meter out there?
I didn't check the player comfort meter, but I will say the grass with the recent frost we've had and the cold weather is a little bit on the patchy side, yeah, and very short as well. They've still kept up the mowing, but it's going to be a fast deck, I would have thought, this afternoon, until maybe that afternoon dew might roll in. So we'll keep an eye on it for sure. Look, we mentioned earlier both sides needing to get their season underway, and Both sides in a bit of an interesting phase. They've both got a lot of young, exciting players, but sometimes that raw talent just needs to be tapped a little better, and that's what I think both sides have been lacking for a lot of this season.
I think it'll come down to ball usage as well. And I'm looking through the Loxton lineup. I'm looking at some of their experienced heads in Nathan Brown, the coach, the captain Jesse Will, and maybe Shay Lange off half back to use the ball well going forward. It'll be up to the Panthers to make sure that they don't waste their use of the ball. And also another player that I'm interested to see, and only in his third game of A-grade football, is Ryder Montgomery, the young fella. So I'm really keen to see how he goes. He's a strapping young fella, and that's what this A-grade footy's all about. I reckon there's only one side a year can win the flag, and the others, if you come along to watch your team play, you come along to watch your juniors develop, and you're very keen to see how they go from week to week. So I've got all eyes on players like him. Also keen to have a look at Jai Drake back in the Loxton North lineup after a few weeks off.
Yeah, you mentioned Ryder Montgomery just before, one of our eligible players for the Hoops Auto and Four-Wheel Drive Centre Young Charger Award this afternoon, and both sides, no shortage of players in the senior side under the age of 21, which is the eligibility cutoff for the Young Charger Award for Hoops Auto and Four-Wheel Drive Centre. Sides now about to take their spot. We're about to get underway here at Loxton. Yeah,
Bastian starting in the ruck for the Panthers. BVO, Brock Viney Opes up forward, the big fella up there, so interesting to see how it's going to go. And Scott Lewis in the middle too, back after a hamstring injury.
Yep, siren sounds. We are underway at first quarter Riverland footy on 5RM. Both sides arguing for it. It's Loxton North through Bastian that get a couple of handballs, and they go back to Lewis. Lewis goes on the small switch, we'll call it, and that's Wooldridge that kicks it into the attacking 50 for the Panthers. Unable to mark it. That is Brock Viney Opes. He's still trying to shark this one, paddling it towards the boundary. Handballs it wayward. Still in play. The Panthers try to keep it in board, and it's gone out of bounds.
Yeah, the big fella BVO, we'll call him, Lockie, I think, for convenience for us, and I'll probably get away with it as his uncle, but I've got to declare that. A couple of touches early. He's now in the ruck in the forward lines as Bastian drops back into the back play.
I love it. Ball in. Loxton get the tap. There's Loxton North that managed to run up well, and that's James Neal that kicks it to the top of the square. Nearly just fell short. Loxton defenders working hard. They try and kick it out. There's Jesse will intercept, and it's the Panthers through Drake.
There's the goal of the day.
Goal of the game. And it's Loxton North that take first blood in round 8. Lovely Norton.
Yeah, Jai Drake intercepting that ball, cutting across in front of the Loxton skipper, Jesse Will, taking clean possession of the ball and snapping onto his right foot, making absolutely no mistake. An important goal for the Panthers to get them up and about.
Yeah, look, I thought Loxton defenders were going to clear that one out. Jesse Will was waiting for that ball to come to him, but Jai Drake thought otherwise and basically went on the quick intercept and
made no mistake.
Took his opportunity, and you mentioned opportunities earlier, Nobby Norton. It's certainly going to be important. Just coming up to the 2-minute mark. Riverland footy on 5RM. A sunny day at Loxton. Updates of the other games a little bit later today. Get some details there as we go around the grounds. Back to the middle we are. Nobby Norton, take
up
it away.
She goes. Bastian tries to get his hand on it. Joel Worsfold in there, but Loxton player being free kick there, and that is Harley Campbell starting in the middle of the ground. Looks up. Looks to go on his left foot. Looking for a lead. Stops, starts, still unable. Gets called to play on and drives it in long.
That's a big kick inside attacking 50. Spoiled forward. Loose footy inside Loxton's attacking zone. Loxton North trying to clear it out. It's been holding the ball. Couple of opportunities there, and I reckon that was Schenkel that took a bit of time to dispose of that. And there'll be a shot at goal here from the Loxton coach, Nathan Brown.
Yeah, incorrect disposal there against Schenkel. He actually has unfortunately run into his own player. Some friendly fire when he tried to clear the back lines. And here's coach Loxton Tigers coach Nathan Brown having a shot. He'll kick this from about 40 metres out, directly in front, heading towards the swimming pool end.
Panthers trail by 6. Ball on the way. It looks good off the boot. And the Tigers respond. 1 goal apiece on the very better scoreboard. 3 minutes played, 5RM Riverland football for McDonald's Renmark.
Yeah, good start from both sides, using the footy and keeping that. Both goals coming from forward pressure. Drake cutting the ball off for Loxton North when Tigers were trying to bring it out of defence and kicking a goal. And that time, the pressure on the ball on the Loxton North defender and Coach Nathan Brown taking the resultant free kick and making no mistake.
Yeah, young charger for the Tigers, Harley Campbell, getting told to play on. It might have been the best thing ever because he just kicked it as long as he could, and it gave a chaos ball inside their attacking 50, and it was that pressure Loxton able to capitalise with. So back to the middle it is, and we'll get underway again. Other games this afternoon, some big ones. Waikerie hosting Barmera Monash, and the Renmark Rovers taking on Berry. So could be another big day for the ladder.
Up it goes. Loxton Ruckman first his hand on it to Jesse Will. He kicks Loxton forward into their forward 50. No one can get their hands on it. Through goes, I reckon that was Caden Evans. No doubt about that. He's straight at it, runs in straight lines, but couldn't break free. It's a ball. Interesting to note, Nathan Brown playing out of the goal square as a small forward. One-on-one has dragged his man right back. Ball, Loxton North trying to get this ball clear of defence, but Tigers up to it. Back to Will from Loxton. He looks for Brown on a lead. Brown grabs the ball, can't get a handle on it. His opponent's Mason Eckerman, but he couldn't get it clear, and that looks like Harley. That looks like Harley Campbell for goal number 2 for the Tigers. Once again, grabs hold of a loose football and makes the Panthers pay. So that is Loxton 2 goals, leading Loxton North 1 goal on the very better scoreboard.
Yeah, just coming up to 5 minutes played, pressure early. It was Loxton North that took the early blow, but since then it's been all Loxton, and quick inside 50s have proved beneficial for the Loxton Tigers, and I think that might be catching out the Panther defenders a little bit, just the pace that is coming inside the attacking 50. So we'll keep an eye on that this afternoon here at Loxton. Back to the middle it is, ball up in the air. Both ruckmen jumped a bit early, a ruck infringement, free kick to Bastian, the Loxton North. That
was against Carter Wright in ruck, and went to Bastian. He looks up, goes wide to the wing, but not to his player. And Brandon Tregeagle's first there. The Panther player manages to hold him off the ball, and Bastian follows up and drives it forward. A lovely mark almost to Zachary Nitschke, but couldn't quite bring it in. Loxton Tigers, Langy brings it out of defence, goes wide to the wing.
And the Tigers will take possession and just hold station for a sec. Just trying to work out what to do here. I reckon that's Tregeagle. And just goes straight down the line. Always when in doubt, play it straight. And good mark for Loxton now. That was to Prince. He kicks it inside 50, going back with the flight of the ball. With the Panthers trying to mark it. Still loose, going towards goal. Panther defenders trying to clear this one out. And that is, I reckon that was young... Hutchinson that cleared that out.
Holding the ball. Escaped me. Jasper Hutchinson holding the ball, free kick to Loxton North on centre wing. They look up quick, but over kicks his teammate, which was Zachary Nitschke, and the ball goes to ground. That'll be a ball up halfway between the centre and the 50-metre line at the Loxton North forward lines, heading towards Berry. Penong Road. 6.5
minutes played. Ball up. Both teams trying to fight this one out, and we'll get another ball up.
Interesting forward setup for Loxton. They've got everyone pushed up to half forward except for Nathan Brown, the coach, who's one out in the goal square opposing Mason Eckerman. We did see Vuma drop in and try and cut it out, but that's a dangerous setup for Loxton. He's got plenty of space. All they got to do is get the ball in front of him, and he's a sure handler.
Yeah, Mason Eckerman in defence is a tagger. I'm not sure about that, but anyway. Ball up again. Ball hasn't moved too far. Loxton North get a couple of handballs, but they're unable to really take a good possession. Neil handballed into the attacking 50, and that's Josh Nelson for the Panthers. Kicks it to the pocket. It's going to drop short. Paddles out of bounds. Oh, no. It's still in play. Loxton North still trying to shark this one, and there he is, BVO. Brock Viney Opes
did not go the distance.
Loxton North don't want to lose this one. 15 out from goal. A kick to nowhere. They're still trying to drive this one out, and we'll get a ball up, you would think. Umpire says, yep, it's my ball. Right at the edge of the goal square.
Viney Oates taking that ball, but it hadn't travelled 15 metres, so it was play on, and he got on with it quickly. Here we are at the top of the goal square for Loxton North, going towards the Penong Road end. Ball comes out loosely from Loxton, play on. They kick it clear. It bounces over the head of the Panther player into the hands of Jesse Will, who looks up. Brown and Eckerman, the only two this end. Eckerman can't get his hands to it. Brown up to the task, paddles it all the way back to the centre. Handball out wide to Ross Romeo. Cannot get hands on it.
Now the Tigers, handball over the top to space. Salmon trying to run onto it. He couldn't get there, and I reckon that might be a ball up, and that was Talon Eagle.
Yeah, Carter Wright resting up foot. No, Talon Eagle. He couldn't get the ball clear of the pack, but he's very lucky not to perhaps get pinged for that. But good umpiring. Out the ball comes out of a pack. No one can get it. Handball from Brown. Brown out to Caden Evans. He goes long to the goal square for Loxton, and that's on target. And it looks like the goal umpire likes that, I think.
Law for saying touch, but it's a goal. And that's the third for the Tigers.
Yeah, lovely goal from Caden Evans. A great kick. He was all of 40 metres out on about a 50 to 60 degree angle, and he set it up there in the goal square, but he set it up with plenty of legs. And I think, Lockie, that was the wind that got that one through.
Maybe there's a bit more than we thought. A 12-point margin, the Panthers with one goal. And back to the middle it goes. Not even 10 minutes played, and we've already seen 4 goals. It's a high-scoring affair. Yeah,
quick start for the Panthers with the first goal, but Loxton Tigers have come back with the next 3, and looking pretty dangerous for that wide-open forward line, having everything. BVO, Viney Oates into ruck. He's up. Again, couldn't get a hand on it. Loxton come out with the footy again, but no, James Neal bursts out of the centre for Loxton North and drives them forward.
Spoiled over the back. Loxton unable to take possession. Loxton North now trying to get their hands back on it. Neal wanted to play on, but umpire said bring it back. And it's a free kick to the Tigers.
Looks like Shay Lange at half-back, is it? No, he's over this side.
That was. We'll have a look in a sec. And find
maybe Hayden Stevens,
I think.
Deegan
Rothie.
Yeah, Deegan Roth. Drives it up to the centre wing for Loxton. Big fella has 2 bites at it, but can't bring it in. Ball on the ground in dispute. Umpire allowing it to go on, which is good umpiring. No one able to come out with the footy. It'll be a ball up on centre wing on the far side of the oval.
Looking over the number 2 oval, the Loxton Hockey Club, which is looking a picture as always. Ball up inboard. Loxton North. Lewis tries to break through the wall, but he had a few too many goes at it, and that was holding the ball. Loxton now quickly on the attack, inside 50. Great bit of play from Mason Eckham, and he bumped out his opponent there, Harley Campbell.
Yeah, I can see what's going on here. Brown and Campbell changing it full forward, and Eckerman got both of those players. And he moved Campbell out the way with a better strength, took the mark, and he's cleared the ball out to the half-back flank for North. Untidy kick. Through comes Loxton player, drives it further forward to a loose ball again. Campbell this time on his non-preferred right leg, but no problems for Harley Campbell on his right foot. He kicks his second goal for the day, and Loxton's 4th. They go to 4 goals, 24 leading Loxton. Loxton North 1 goal, 6, an 18-point margin on the Berry Better scoreboard.
Panthers are going to have to make some changes very soon. Harley Campbell there, you might have said it was a fortuitous bounce, but he ran onto it and made the most of it. Doesn't miss the goals. As you mentioned, Campbell and Brown swapping in the middle. Mason Eckerman for Loxton North picking up both those players. The entire time I've known Mason Eckerman, he has been a small forward that kicks goals.
Yeah,
he's a defender. I mean, he's fit enough, but I'm not sure what's going on there this afternoon.
Yeah, it was unfortunate in the middle that the general, when Scott Lewis conceded that footy, normally he'd be solid with it. Oates up hard, but this time to Salmon for Loxton in the middle. Couldn't get it out of there. Neal squirts it forward for the Panthers to half forward. Through comes Joel Worsfold. Lovely handball to Bastian resting. Ball comes straight across to Cooper Petch, who looks to centre it. Off the loose ball is James Neal. Picks up the loose ball for the Panthers and kicks their second goal, which takes them to 2 goals, 12, trailing Loxton 4 straight goals, 24. Good accurate kicking here on the Berry Better scoreboard.
Yeah, James Neal took that opportunity on. Was in the middle before that, ran onto it. He's got the wheels to motor, that's for sure. And the Panthers desperately needed that. Just coming up to 12 and a half minutes played. Fiver and Riverland football for McDonald's Renmark, where peak chicken is upon us with the new McWings at Macca's.
Hey, a great game of footy here at Lachlan Winnell, and I hope everyone tuning in is enjoying it. The last couple of games we've seen, it's like been 5 goals to 4 and 5 to 8. Here we are. It's a goal fest and no points to be kicked.
Absolutely, 100% accuracy on the Berry Better scoreboard this afternoon. And back to the middle it is. Still got a fair bit of this quarter to play. 13 minutes just gone. To Prince, tapped it, and it was Will that got a good handball out. They go inside attacking 50, drops forward. It's Schenkel for Loxton North, gets a handball out. They're trying to clear this one out. Handball's back in attack, defensive 50. Loxton North, a dangerous kick. And it's Loxton that can't quite pick it up. Loxton North now. James Neal trying to get that. He can't. Now Salmon for Loxton. He had a dive on the top, raked that in, and umpire's going to say my ball. Left forward flank.
Hey, some good quick movement of the football between the defence and attack from both sides, and which has meant they're going into open forward lines, which is why the scoring is perhaps so accurate. Plenty of people getting an opportunity. A series of handballs. The ball goes out wide to Loxton onto their left foot, tries to bring it back in, but can only come back to Hutchinson, I reckon, there again. Comes loose from half back. Ball goes around. A bit of a 1-2 from Neil. Bounced it off his head, but couldn't keep control of it. Series of handballs, puts the ball back in Loxton's hands. Brown drives it in, but up goes Loxton North skipper Cody Beamer to fist that ball out of bounds for a boundary throw in.
Desperately needed. So 4 goals placed, 2 on the very better scoreboard. Loxton with the advantage, kicking with the breeze, albeit slight. Maybe it could be a factor this afternoon.
Might be a 2-goal breeze, so we won't find out until half time, till Panthers get a chance to go with it. But here we go, a boundary throw in. At half forward for Loxton, going towards the swimming pool end, about 40 metres out from their goals. Up it goes, through comes Neil. Gee, he's got a ton of pace, hasn't he? To Hutchinson, takes possession of the ball for Loxton North and drives them out of defence. To Loxton, 2-on-1, but comes out with the football. I reckon that was Bastian and Ruck, beat 2 players. Ball goes forward, Ryan Proud, first touch, can't get a handle on it. Manages to wrap the ball up, and that'll be a boundary throw in this time at the Loxton North forward end in front of the scoreboard.
Yeah, Loxton North looking to get the most out of this quarter. Oh, a big jump in the ruck.
That was BVA with his parachute on.
It's Loxton that get a couple of handballs and they take the ball up there, attacking wing. A good handball wide. Loxton now up to the left forward flank. Good mark there. Now they bring it inside, attacking 50. Campbell drops short, runs onto it. There's Vomart for Loxton North. He was tackled. Didn't have much of a chance to get rid of it, but umpire says that is holding the ball.
Where was the voice? That was a great tackle by Harley Campbell, but Eckerman, Loxton North had Harley Campbell outnumbered 2-1 there, but Eckerman did not get in the way to block for his captain. Or maybe didn't even talk to him because he looked like he had plenty of time.
So Campbell going back for another shot on goal today. He's been there.
He's already kicked 2.
Prolific forward to date. What's this one? Kicking from 45 out on a slight angle. Kicking to the Pine Avenue end at Loxton. I reckon this is better than a 50-50 chance. Ball's on the way. It looks good, but it's faded to the right.
That's probably the easiest shot he's had on goal in today's game. And plenty of legs on it. That ball travelled all of 55 metres, but unfortunately the left footer managed to push it past the right-hand post. Look, I think there's a problem there for the Loxton North coach to sort out, Harley Campbell.
North bring this one, grandstand side, and they kick out. But Loxton have got the numbers. That was Fisher with the ball, and umpire says, I'll have it. A ball up on the right forward flank for the Loxton Tigers.
Carter right in ruck for Loxton. Up goes Vumart against him. Couldn't get a handle on it. Ball, and be a secondary ball up. Looking around for his ruckman, Vumart, it's BVO, Brock Viney Oates, who's come into his own ruck up against Carter Wright. These young lads work together.
So a ball up, both ruckmen trying to work it. But great read of Jesse Wheel, who kicked it inside 50, but it sprayed wide. And sorry, it was Nathan Brown with that one, the number 8.
Yeah, he hit the ball running and got the lovely ruck tap out. Ball comes out of defence. Eckerman quick to take the free kick and switch the ball to the far side of the oval. North with numbers out there. Ball goes out and finds Judge Sherpick at half-back for Loxton North. He looks up, not a lot on offer, and Loxton have quickly covered the cross field, although he does find a player well clear. I think it's Bastian out there, or Jared Buckley perhaps.
Just a little pop kick over the top. Finds a teammate. Now another small kick up. Loxton North playing possession football. They turn to play on. Inside attacking 50. It's gone over the top, and Loxton defenders will rake that in.
That was the resting ruckman Bastian out there at half forward, but he sort of wasted that possession. The ball comes back to his opponent at half back. He takes an easy mark for the Tigers as they look to bring this out of defence. I reckon that might be Hayden Stevens out there.
Loxton North still trying to shark this one on their attacking forward flank. That was Wagner that tried to run through. He ran through. He's going for high, but umpire says, no, free kick to Loxton.
He ducked the chutney, and good umpiring there. That's John Fisher's wrapped him up there. We'll take the free kick at half back for Loxton. getting towards the end of this first quarter. It's been very, very exciting football. Back in the ball comes. Loxton player taking a mark at centre wing.
It was Hunter Westbrook there who kicked it wide, but I think the umpire's going to bring it back. The umpire's seen something.
It's a free kick further up the ground here. Must have been something happened off the ball. Westbrook comes up to take the kick. Westbrook in the bright orange boots. Handballs across. Ball comes back to him from Will. Bit of a 1-2, but they cough it up. And Joel Worsfold for Loxton North brings the ball forward. Well, BBO stood under that one and took a nice mark under pressure. Gets up, handballs on. North looking to move this ball forward as quickly as they can, but untidy. And Loxton, with numbers at half back, take possession and bring the ball out of defence.
Yeah, that was Fisher. Now it's Loxton North. Cody Vomard runs onto it. Has a bit of space, turns. Looks for a teammate, but it was tapped from Loxton. Punch forward. Now Loxton North try to rake it up, but Loxton think otherwise. They kick it inside 50. And that's Campbell. He couldn't quite mark it. A couple at it. Still inside there attacking 50 for the Tigers.
Gee, dangerous up forward, Harley Campbell. He's kicked 2 goals, 1 this quarter. Had a run on the ball. And Brown with a goal while he's resting up there as well. That is a problem area for the Panthers. Up ball, the ball goes in ruck. Knocked forward by the Tigers. Loxton North get hold of it. It's a chain of handballs. Boomard, this time to Lewis. Goes short and picks out Joel Worsfold at half back for Loxton. He can't find anyone at the moment. Goes short again, but chopped out by Campbell. By Hunter Westbrook in those bright orange boots, and he sends it towards Campbell. He takes a lovely mark under pressure at half forward.
That's the mark of the day so far. Waste no time. Kicks it on his left, inside attacking 50, and a great mark inside 50. That's the Prince. He's going to go back for a shot on goal, all of 30 metres out directly in front. And I tell you what, Harley Campbell is leading the Hoops Auto and Four-Wheel Drive Centre Young Charger Award this afternoon, and maybe the Murray Pioneer Best on Ground at the same time.
Yeah, I think you could have something there, Lockie Winnell. The Prince from 25 metres out directly in front, makes no mistake, and he's kicked Loxton's 5th goal. They go to 5-1-31, leading Loxton North 2 straight goals, 12 on the very better scoreboard. Creating a lot of problems for the Panthers, both with their small forwards, with the chaos ball, and now with their talls. The Prince pushed up there, so really it's obviously a pre-game plan, but they are stretching Loxton North out, both small and tall. I'm looking on the boundary line here and see Loxton North player with his boot off, which means he's not in any hurry to get back on. I think he might have an ankle problem.
That's Cooper Petch.
It's Cooper Petch. He started the game reasonably well. James Neal, who's kicked a goal in this quarter for the Panthers, waiting his turn to come back on the ground. Cooper Petch not being seen to by a trainer, but not ready to play.
So Bastian for Loxton North ran through a couple, and there's the other Petch. Kicks it up towards half forward. Can Loxton North salvage something from this? Walton. I don't think they can. It's Riley Walton that
shoots
went on
the ball
switch
out wide to Ross Romeo, who takes the mark at half back for Loxton. He looks up and finds all on his own Cale Smith. Looks up and finds Talon Eagle on a long lead. Loxton doing as they like here. Eagle turns around on his left foot, goes long looking for Brown, but this time cut out by Eckerman, who tries to kick to clear the defence, but the kick goes out of bounds without anyone touching it, and Nathan Brown will take the free kick for the Tigers at half forward. No, he won't.
Some danger signs early for Loxton North. They need to find something here.
I think they'll be hanging on for the siren, to try and regroup. Pass in the middle, no one can take it. Ball ends up in Sherpick's hands, but he couldn't get clear, so it'll be a ball up about 30 metres out from the Loxton goals at the swimming pool end, with Loxton leading this game by 19 points on the very better scoreboard.
Loxton North, here's Scott Lewis, bombs it out of their defensive 50, just looks for space, looking for the boundary, but it's going to drop short. And Loxton are trying to rake this back in, but they can't, and we'll get a ball in on the far wing.
Loxton Vice-Captain Cale Smith carrying that ball out of bounds. Interesting to see Smith up the ground today. Normally he plays in defence a bit when we've seen him, but he's playing at half forward, so interesting move, and he's been quite effective. Boundary throw in right on centre wing on the far side of the oval from the club rooms. In it comes. That was Carter Wright, hands on the ball for Loxton. The ball came to Harley Campbell, slammed on his left foot, looking for Eagle. Eagle gathers it back in, gets a handball to a teammate who gets taken high.
It's one of our favourites, Caden Evans. Yep. Kicks it inside attacking 50. Prince. It dropped on his foot, but great read from Jesse Wheel that just pops it inside 50. Brown, the target, couldn't quite mark it, but he's got the space, running into goal, sockers it through, and the Tigers extend the lead.
That's Brown's second goal for the day and Loxton's sixth. They go to 6-1-37, leading Loxton North 2 straight goals on the Berry Better scoreboard. I think there's almost panic stations here for the Panthers. They have got problems in defence.
Second goal of the day for Coach Nathan Brown. Great read from Jesse Wheel, and that's what junior coaches will say all the time when you're crumbing forward, front and centre, and that's where Jesse Wheel was. Yeah,
I think the question mark here for Coach Dave Higgins is who is he going to put at full back on these small players resting? And I'm talking Harley Campbell, who's not really small, and Nathan Brown, because at 2 goals apiece, even though one of them wasn't conceded by Eckerman when he stand him, he's conceded 3 goals on his opponent this quarter. Up goes Carter Wright, gets the ball to Harley Campbell, who's easily BOG at the moment for the Tigers. Ball comes loose to Spiro Polymiatis, goes up, hits Brown on the shoelace, can't get it. Out comes Eckerman, trying as hard as he can for Loxton North, shoots the ball out of defence and finds Liam Bastion at half-back. Quickly gets on with it, goes up to the wing, finds Jared Buckley at centre wing. He moves the ball quickly, this time in towards Proud, I think, is it?
Wagner, I reckon. Now it's worse fault to Lewis. Inside attacking 50 for North.
Here's Proud.
Proud couldn't quite mark it, tries to rake it back in, but it's going to be the Tigers that once again drive it out. Nobby North.
Yeah, here they come. Takes a bounce coming off half-back. Looks up, plenty of players to go to. Lovely mark by Jesse Will at centre wing. The Tiger captain in everything early today. He's got players to choose from across in the middle. This time he spots up. I reckon that might be Brock Salmon, I think. 34 it was, yet. And he looks forward. Oh, what a mark. Great little mark. There's our mark of the day from Talon Eagle. A little one-hander in front of Judge Sherpick. Plenty of opposition. Turns around onto his left foot.
Kicks it inside attacking 50 to Prince in the pocket. It popped over the top. It's gone out of bounds and we'll get a ball in. 25 and a half minutes played. It must be getting close to quarter time here at Loxton. It's the Tigers that lead by 25 on the Berry Better scoreboard. Loxton North will be looking for something at quarter time, and it might be a case of just throwing the magnets up in the air and seeing where they land.
Yeah, 6-goal first quarter to the Tigers, and they've really, a lovely mark coming out of defence for Cody Vumard, the Panthers skipper, right on the defensive 50 for Loxton North. He's got really nowhere to go. Got to go down the line. Goes down the line looking for BVO. 2-on-1, pulls in a strong marker. Centre wing does the former KI Ruckman.
So just hold station for a second. Panthers wouldn't want to concede anything from now, you wouldn't have thought. To a contest, spills over the back. Langy for Loxton. Got to kick away, but it was out of bounds at the same time. And doesn't matter because that's quarter time anyway. Loxton 6-1-37, leading Loxton North. 2 goals straight, 12-5 over Riverland Football. McDonald's Renmark. It's the Tigers by 25. Might be time to go around the grounds. Trevor Scott, are you there? They certainly do. It is quarter time here at Loxton. Both sides taking their spot to get the second quarter underway. It's been highlights galore this afternoon in this first quarter. Loxton leading 6-1-37. Loxton North 2 goals straight, 12. Nobby Norton. Panthers have got to find something.
They certainly do, and goal kickers for Loxton Tigers in that first quarter. Harley Campbell with 2, Nathan Brown with 2, singles to Caden Evans, a great goal from a fairway out, and 1 to Braden Prince. For Loxton North, Jai Drake, who kicked the first goal of the game, and a lovely goal on the run from James Neal. But they need a lot more, and they also need to restructure their defence, and which is looking a whole lot different again now. All of a sudden, Loxton have got players spread out, whereas in the first quarter they all shuffled up to half forward and left that area alone.
Well, there it is, second quarter underway. It's Loxton get the first clearance and they bomb it inside, attacking 50 now, kicking it to the town end. Handball inboard. Caden Evans gets it on the second bounce. Went to handball, he got it away quickly. Now it's popped inside, attacking 50. Nathan Brown, the target, the coach, and he marks it.
Lovely kick there.
Lovely lead.
Lovely kick there from Brandon Tregeagle, who received the handball from Taylor Eagle. Brown to have a shot from goal. We're sitting right behind this, Lockie. He'll kick this from about 40 metres out. I don't think he'll have any problem here. The wind's going virtually down the ground. So a straight kick at the left-hand post, and this is an easier kick for this fellow. No, leaves it wide, leaves it right, and it stays right. Lovely mark taken in defence by Loxton North. Big fella, I reckon it's Cody Vumard at half-back.
That is Cody Vumard. He gets told to play on after he stepped off the mark and has to go a small kick up to the back pocket. Finds Mason Eckerman, who runs back inboard. Now kicks it up to centre wing. There's no one home. It's all Tigers. Go back on the rebound here. Yeah,
nothing but black and yellow Guernseys out there on the wing. Shay Lange looks up, but this time he picks out, I reckon that's Bastian at half-back, the resting ruckman big play. He drives it across and over, a big kick over the middle, clears everyone.
But there's no one home for Loxton North, and it's Loxton.
Hayden Stevens takes the footy and gets it back out. But
is Worsfold now another wayward handball, and it's going to be Rollins for Loxton North. Loxton that dives on it. James Neal just dives on it and holds it in for Loxton North, and we'll get a ball up on the left forward flank for the Panthers. Yeah, a bit of a laconic effort there from Brodie Rollins. I think he underestimated the speed of James Neal. He closed on him very quickly. Closed on him like a tiger on a wildebeest, but it was the other way around. It was a panther on a tiger. Ball goes up, but can't come out of the pack. But the umpire has pinged Neal for holding the. Has pinged a Tiger player for holding the ball, and James Neal gets up and will take a free kick for. Calls him to play on. He goes around the man on the mark, which was Fisher, looks to go in, but in the way was a Tiger defender, which I reckon was Stevens again, yeah. Putting a big influence on this game. Loxton trying to clear it out of defensive 50. They're working it through the middle well. There is Campbell, pops it into the middle to Talon Eagle, couldn't quite mark it, taken to umpire says too high, so Eagle will get the free. Yeah, it was an attempt to spoil a pretty tough attempt, but he did drag Eagle down. Eagle had the right spot. Eagle gets up, sends the kick out towards the scoreboard to a teammate who drives in long, looking for the Prince, who couldn't take the mark, and the ball goes out of bounds for a boundary throw in the forward pocket at the Bookpenong Road end. Loxton looking dangerous. 6-1-37, plays 2 goals straight, 12. The Tigers leading by 25. 3 minutes played, second quarter, 5 over Riverland football for McDonald's Renmark. Ball in is now on the way. No ruckman got their hands to it. De Prince was doing a few wayward air punches at it, but it's Loxton North that managed to clear it out, albeit just. It looked dangerous. Now they run back through traffic. Scott Lewis now on half-back. Got a kick away just, but it's the Tigers that get the intercept inside 50. And there's Caden Evans that plays on quickly, and Jesse Wheel has got an absolute paddock. An island, you would say. Yeah, Loxton intercepting at will across centre. Panthers unable to penetrate that line behind the ball, and Tigers quickly to rebound off that line and find players moving. This time they had Caden Evans. He's used the football very well on his left foot. Will decides against that and kicks inside, attacking 50 further, and finds Talon Eagle on a lead. And he's going to go back for a shot on goal. They'd only be probably about 3 metres closer to goal, but a bit more of an easier angle. Absolute paddock of space in there for Eagle to lead up into. Everyone was sitting back in the goal square. No one really concentrating on the potential of a short pass.
Eagle, for his first real shot at goal today, has been busy across half forward, mostly in getting the ball forward by tapping it or handballing it. Has a go on his left foot. Umpire moves to the right, but I think they like it. Yes, that's a goal. But first goal today for Talon Eagle. First goal of the second quarter takes Loxton to 7-1-43, leading Loxton North 2 goals, 12 on the Berry Better scoreboard. Danger signs here for the Panthers, but early in the game, plenty of time for them to come with a comeback.
There's still plenty of time, conditions favourable, but they'd want to make some changes soon. See, Loxton North is still running their forward setup pretty similar. I did just see Panthers Scott Lewis come to the bench, and it looks like he's taking his boots and maybe sock off, so I'm not sure if he'll be playing anymore in this game. He came off the ground a bit slow, so
they're favouring that hamstring again, which he had been out for a while, I think. But anyway, only getting some treatment, so he could be back into the action. Out of the middle goes Bastian from Ruck. Jams it on the boot. It goes high, but who's under it? Salmon for Loxton. Gets up, chips the ball forward, looking for Will. Out wide, Will can't quite get a handle on it. The ball goes out of bounds on the bounce without being touched. And Josh Nelson, his 250th game, will line up to kick Panthers forward right in front of us.
Josh Nelson gets told to play on because he went around the mark, kicks up to the right forward flank, but an intercept mark from the Tigers in Carter Wright, the resting ruckman, and they're just going to hold station on half back. They got all the time, they got the lead, they can afford to do this. Kicks inboard, a small 45 to a contest, but a great mark from Luke Salmon. They go on the switch, they got a bit of space if they can pick it up, and that was John Fisher. A couple of bites at it, and now Stevens runs through some traffic, pops it back to Salmon. A handball over the top, Hunter Westbrook, he turns, he's got pace. Kicks inside, attacking 50, albeit, bounce back in, it's the wrong one. The Tigers are going to go another shot on goal if they can get around this one. A wobbly old kick at goal. And it's
2 balls on the ground.
Out of bounds. So a couple of kids going a bit of kick to kick behind the goals, and it's spilled inboard. So Loxton North quickly on the rebound, and they bring it back grandstand side through Josh Nelson.
Yep. A lead coming to him, a couple of Panther players, but he goes over the top to BBO, gets a shocking bounce, sort of a Shane Warne type bounce. Handball comes through, this time to Bastian. He's doing everything he can to get the Panthers forward. Ryan Proud one-on-one, but beaten to the ball by his direct opponent, who mongrels it back to half-back to Harley Campbell. Takes possession. Tries to get rid of it. This is holding the ball against Brodie Rollins. Big fella like that can find it hard to try and duck under a tackle.
So BVO on right forward flank for the Panthers. What are they going to do here? We haven't seen too many inside 50s for Loxton North. Just a straight kick to a contest. Ryan Proud, the target, and Ryan Proud takes the mark. Inside his range, you would think, and it would be a very important kick for the Panthers.
Yeah, just inside his range, and he took that mark on a sharp lead in a bit of a packed situation, but looking into the sun, it didn't seem to worry Ryan Proud. Gee, the Panthers need this one to get back in touch.
A kick from 45 out, a slight angle. He's hooked it to the left, and that's a minor score.
Distance not the problem. Takes the first bet behind for the Panthers today. Takes them to 2-1-13, trailing Loxton 7-1-43, a 5-goal margin, but Panthers still well in the game.
Tigers bring it grandstand side on the kick out, and that's Jesse Will again. That name is popping up a lot. Turns and kicks down the line.
So is this name. Harley Campbell takes an unopposed mark at halfback. Rollins sort of taking the Panther player off him, which was Michael Scott couldn't get through to him. Campbell not sure what to do. He seems to do his best work when the umpire calls him to play on. Goes short, finds Ross Romeo just the 15 metres closer to goal. Ross Romeo, he doesn't have much of an option either. Gets called to play on, drives the Tigers forward.
To a contest, a left half forward for Loxton. There's Evans. He breaks the tackle and kicks inside, attacking 50. Round the target. There's 1-on-2. Shakes the opponents. Turns, hooks it around, and that's another goal for the Tigers.
Brown's third for the day takes Loxton to 8-1-49, leading Loxton North 2-1-13 on the Berry Better scoreboard. And that has just got itself up onto the podium. He already had a couple of goes at goal of the day, and I think that one, Lockie, is well and truly the Berry Better goal of the day leader at the moment.
Yeah, certainly was. He shook to opponents, and he got the footy smarts to know where his opponents were, gave himself a couple of metres and just popped it around the corner. He knew no one was home, and it just rolled through.
So how would you be if you're Mason Eckerman? Like, he's copping a bit of treatment down there in the back lines. He's just had Brown kick a goal, go up onto the middle, and who comes back to for him to stand? But Harley Campbell. BVO takes that ball out of ruck for Loxton North, drives them deep into the forward lines.
Here's Wagner. And I don't know, I reckon he's the man they've got to put in defence. Tyler Wagner. Give Mace Eckerman a go up forward. He's going to kick a few goals. Wagner's got a bit of pace about him, probably a bit of size.
What about Michael Scott?
Yeah. Pace be there?
Maybe not. But the smarts.
Yeah. Ball in. Loxton North's attacking 50 now. Can they make something out of this? Worsfold tried to bring it back in, but he couldn't. And Loxton go on the switch. They've gone to the other pocket, and I reckon that is Ross Romeo rather, that pops it over the top, and Loxton now just kicking it will bring it back inboard.
Walton looks up, finds Salmon this time, but no, cut out by James Neal. Gee whiz, he's got some closing speed, James Neal, but Loxton player tackled too high, and that was Salmon of the Luke kind. He looks up, chips Tigers forward. There's a one-handed mark. It's been paid by the ump. Who's going to come out with it?
It's Max Schenkel. So Max Schenkel and Judge Sherpick, both from Loxton North, both arguing for that as they marked it. Didn't realise it was a teammate with their hands on it anyway. When it's not your day, it's not your day. Now it's Loxton now on the far wing. Popped it up to the left forward flank.
It's Jai Drake getting that ball forward for the Panthers, but in the way was Nitsky. A chain of handballs from the Panthers.
Here's Tyler Wagner.
Tyler Wagner comes out.
Worsfold pops it to Neil. He couldn't quite take it cleanly. Gets another bite at it. Oh, that missed Worsfold. Now can he go again? Worsfold tries to. Ryan Proud dives on it. Everyone's having a crack here, and we'll get a ball up 40 out from the Panthers goal.
Yeah, absolutely. No problems with the effort there, but they just couldn't quite get their hands on it. I don't think Neil was ready for that slick handball from Worsfold. Handball comes out from Loxton North out of this pack. First to the footy, the Panthers, but can't find a teammate. Eagle goes in after it. Manhandled, but the umpire said play on. Eagle again shovels the ball out. This time it comes out towards Bastion, but the Loxton North player held when he got rid after he got rid of the ball, and that's Petch, I think, there about Cooper Petch about to take a free kick at half forward for the Panthers.
So Cooper Petch drives it inside attacking 50, looking for Buckley, but it's gone over the top and it's found the Tigers through Shay Lange. Pops it out on the wing, and there's Jesse Will. Brings it back inboard, but intercept from the Panthers. And now they'll drive it back inside attacking 50.
Yeah, comedy of errors here with the kicking. That was Smith tried to get the ball out, finds a teammate who looks up, and the ball's kicked across to Hunter Westbrook. He's having a good game, the young fella. Drives it down centre wing, looking for a teammate, looking for Caden Evans, who's also having a great game. He didn't have the footy, but the umpire says play, but he says, don't worry, I'll go back and get it. This time slams it onto his right foot and slams Loxton forward towards Harley Campbell. Couldn't take the mark, comes back on it, onto his right foot, chips it forward for the Tigers.
Yeah, no one able to get their hands on it. The Panthers, they got numbers there. Schenkel pops it inboard, but it's going to find the Tigers through Tregeagle on the left forward flank. Through the centre, they got a couple of players, but Buckley for the Panthers takes the intercept mark. Loxton North have got to be quick.
Looks for the switch. I think that's Drake out far on the far wing.
That it is.
Yeah, he takes the mark, comes back, had nothing to go to. Now he finds Neil, who's in space. Got away from his man, who's Riley Walton. He stops up, looking for a chip. Proud leads, then goes back, leads again. This time finding Oates up big, attempted a hanger from the Panther defender, couldn't get it. Umpire will come in and ball this up 30 metres out from the Loxton goals at the swimming pool end.
49 plays and 13 on the Berry Better scoreboard. It's been all Tigers today. Panthers still inside attacking 50. Umpire says my ball. 13 and a half minutes played. 5 in Riverland football for McDonald's Red.
Tigers leading by 36 points here, but the game's still well and truly on. Free kick here, this time to the Loxton. This time to the Prince in ruck for Loxton. He shoots out wide to the half-back line, gets a teammate, but they're still deep in their defence, the Tigers.
So Loxton just taking that time. He thought about the switch, but then decides to run around his opponent on the mark and kick up to the back flank. But Loxton North managed to get their hands on it. Umpire says play on. Popped inside. There's Petch. Dylan soccers it in front. Now Buckley for Loxton North. Can he get his hands on it? He can. Goes back inboard. Finds Petch. Cooper. Drills it inside, attacking 50, but intercept from Talon Eagle. Handballs to Brown. Gets it back. Talon Eagle.
Get the old 1-2 handball and then looks up and finds Tregeagle at half-back. Nice work there from the big fella. Got his legs rolling. Tigers under a bit of pressure here from the Panthers. This one comes up tall, went down the wing. Everyone up, no one down. The ball rolls out the back to a heap of Tigers. Brock Salmon, but he looks up and goes backwards. Spoiled by Loxton North, and now James Neal with a bit of pace shoots the ball forward. But Hayden Stevens up, spoils for the Tigers, and through comes Langy to mop up for the Tigers.
Langy through the centre, finds Rothy on the cricket pitch. Handball, no, decides against that. He's got players everywhere screaming for it.
25-metre penalty because James Neal ran into the protected area as he sort of cruised past. I think the ump's been watching a little bit of AFL lately.
That's right, Montgomery that pops it right to Will. Will drives it to the right forward pocket. Campbell the target, but it's Mace Eckerman and Cody Beaumont for Loxton North defence that clear it out. Bit of 1-2. Two players to stop Harley Campbell there.
Yeah, do you think the old, the young player, the young buck rider Montgomery has got in his mind, I'll kick it to the captain every time I get it and keep myself? No, it was the right option from the young fella. He just switched it out to his captain who was all on his own. Ball comes out of half-back for North, but out of bounds off hands in front of the scoreboard for a boundary throw-in.
They're just two steps in front, aren't they? Loxton, doesn't matter where the ball is, there's always a Jesse Will running past, there's always Harley Campbell, there's Talon Eagle, there's someone there screaming for it on the attack. Yeah,
very proactive, the Tigers, and you know, with a 36-point margin, they're looking to run on at every possible opportunity. This guy's playing all right, Liam Bastian for Loxton North, gets hold of the footy, shoots it forward. Buckley bodies his man out of the way for bodies his Tiger opponent out of the way, but can't get clear, and the ball will be a ball up on the 50-metre line in the Loxton forward line on the far side going towards the swimming pool end. Loxton North yet to score in this quarter. A goal, I mean.
Yeah, just the one behind so far. So ball up, still inside North's attacking 50. Now it goes out of bounds and we'll get a ball in.
Yeah, just a goal before half-time to give them just that little bit of momentum might be important. But I see I think there's players downstairs here with a bit of injury for the Panthers. Panthers could be a couple short for the rest of the game. But, hey, teams have won from here before.
They certainly have. Just checking something.
Yeah, Scott Lewis with an ice bag under his right hamstring. I would think he is not going to play any further part in this game.
So Loxton to the right wing. And now trying to work this one through, but Loxton North through Worsfold. He doesn't stop working. He dives on it, and we'll get a ball up on the far wing here at Loxton. Live in Riverland Football, McDonald's Renmark.
Yeah, both the Petch boys having a real crack here for the Panthers, but unable to get any system in the ball going forward. This time out of the pack comes Neal with pace for Loxton North. Drives them forward again. Over the top it goes, but two Tigers to the one Panther, and the ball comes loose. Umpire says, but not before the umpire calls for a ball up.
Just looking behind play there, and there's a little bit of a archie-bargee going on. So Bastian takes the ruck work with Wright.
Boundary throw in coming.
Yeah, it looks like we'll do that. So just looking behind play, there's a couple of players getting a bit of a hard tag there.
Free kick here to Loxton North, is it? Yeah, it is to Neal. Neal might have copped a little bit of detention off the ball. He looks up, dodges around his player, goes onto the left foot, drives it towards the goal square, but drives it out of bounds. No, through for a behind. So that's Loxton North 2-2-14.
I think the umpire's seen something. They're not calling this behind yet. So
he's going to come back and take his kick again, I think.
I think it might be a 25-metre pen. Oh, no, maybe not. So it's gone back to where it was.
Maybe it was time off, Lockie. Change at the boundary line here. Josh Nelson coming on for the Panthers, taking Jai Drake's place. Also, we've got Michael Scott waiting to return to the ground.
Just coming up to the 19-minute mark. So Neal's going to take this kick for the Panthers.
Right
kicking with the breeze.
It's going to be right on the 50-metre line when he takes his kick, but he's got the breeze in his spinnaker.
Yeah, 15k wins. Just check the forward, the Bureau. Got a direct line in. So Neal, it's a far angle. Just pops it to the top of the square. Can anyone get underneath it? It was Bastian that couldn't quite clunk it. Now, umpire's seen something here, and we might get a
Ball up.
Right, so a ball up just inside the goal square for Loxton North. Trail by 36.
Up it goes. Everyone trying to get their hands on it. Bastian gets it again and kicks it out of the pack. He likes it. The goal umpire's looking for the all clear from the field umpire. As soon as he gets that, it'll be... And the field umpire's got his hands behind his back, which means I'm not sure. Which the goal umpire has gone touched.
Touched it is. So it was Buckley there that tried to kick that one. So a minor score for the Panthers takes them to 14 on the very better scoreboard. They trail by 35.
Well, let me tell you, I'm not sure how you get a decision like that because the goal umpire was waiting on the field umpire and the field umpire had said, I don't know. So he could have called touch before the field umpire even gave his decision. So, but never mind.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Loxton have wasted no time on the kick out. They can smell blood here. 20 minutes played, into time on, inboard to Talon Eagle. It takes a lovely little uncontested mark. Got Caden Evans screaming for it in the middle, but decides against that, goes down the line and finds Romeo.
Yeah, Eagle getting a bit of the ball since he's come up out of the forward lines onto the ball. He shoots the ball across this time to Fisher out there.
Drives it inside 50. Loxton North defenders.
He's set a task for his... This is Jared Buckley, yeah.
Bombs it high up in the air to centre wing. Good luck getting under that. It's a foot race. Bastian. It's Loxton that managed to pick that one up through Sam and Brock. And now they go up and concede a bit of ground. But Cale Smith now off half-back, inboard to Sam and Luke. He goes on the switch, and there's Langy.
Yep. Just comes down to the centre.
Here through the cricket pitch, takes a second bounce. Thinks about a third, but decides otherwise. Kicks it to the right forward pocket. Brown the target, but the Panthers were able to snuffle that idea out. And there is Mason Eckerman that drills it out, but it's been intercepted by Ross Romeo. Yeah,
couldn't clear the defence. Romeo looks up, takes the mark, and then finds Nathan Brown on a long lead, who was Eckerman's direct opponent. Eckerman clearing the ball, but because he turned it over, came straight back to his opponent. Wow, what a lead there.
There's Jesse Will, but umpire says, no, you're going to have to go again because
time
wasn't ready.
Yeah, now Brown gets the ball back to take that kick again. Umpire's blown time on, now we're on. Here he goes, Brown taking a lot longer this time. Still looking for an option. Reckon he'll come across, yep, he has come across looking for Salmon, but instead gets Riley Walton, who the siren has sounded. The man on the mark is right on the 50-metre line, so he'll have to kick this from 53 or 4 metres out into the breeze has dropped, the flag has dropped. So this will be, I don't think he'll make the distance. The score is currently Loxton 8-1-49, leading Loxton North 2-2-14, and that ball falls well short.
Yeah, scores unchanged. 8-1-49, Loxton leading at Loxton North 2-2-14. A big second half to come. We will go around the grounds here at 5RM Riverland Football. Yeah, it certainly is, Trevor Scott. It's a lovely sunny afternoon. We've just had the Oz kick out on the Oval actually doing their thing, which is always exciting, Nobby, to see the RFL of the future having a crack on the big stage.
Yeah, it is, Lockie. I was here last night too, under lights. I forgot to tell you about it this morning when we were on air, but I was here last night watching the under-11s, and there was all sorts going on.
It is great to see Riverland football junior programs doing well. It is half-time at the moment.
There's a lot going on here too. A lot of accurate goal kicking from the Tigers, and the Panthers haven't been too bad. Just running through the, for those tuning in, Loxton 8-1-49 leading Loxton North 2-2-14 on the Berry Better scoreboard. Goal kickers for Loxton Tigers. Nathan Brown, the Loxton coach, with 3 goals. Harley Campbell with 2 singles to Prince, Talon Eagle and Caden Evans for Loxton North. James Neal with a goal and Jai Drake with the goal, the first goal of the game. Better players for both sides, in no particular order for Loxton. Luke Salmons had a bit of it. Harley Campbell with his 2 goals. Carl Smith's popped up. Brown with his 3 goals. He's been dangerous everywhere. The skipper, Jesse Wills, done plenty. Hunter Westbrook's had plenty of the ball. Shay Lange's mopped up across half-back. Talon Eagle had a better quarter that quarter. He got out of the forward lines and got a bit of the ball. Caden Stevens has been solid across half-back, as has Riley Walton. And in ruck, the big fella Carter Wright's had a few touches. And I think Caden Evans, if I haven't already mentioned him, has done plenty. For Loxton North, the skipper Cody Vumard's held up in the back lines. And the Petch boys, Dylan and Cooper, have both had a bit of it. James Neal's done a bit. Judd Sherpick's had a good tussle with his opponent. Joel Worsfold's been in and under. And I thought Liam Bastion's probably been their best big man on field. And it's interesting to see how it's going to pan out. Look, the Panthers have got a challenge. It'll be interesting to see how they line up. Lockie Winnell, who lines up at fullback. Mason Eckerman has had his hands full, had a fair bit of the ball himself, but has been standing Campbell and Brown when they've been resting.
Yeah, look, if anything, he's been the hardest worker this afternoon with
Absolutely.
not much of a payoff at all, so unlucky for Mason Eckerman this afternoon. Look, yes, for me, he's someone that has to be up forward kicking goals for the Panthers to be a chance this afternoon. Look, we spoke about some options for someone that could maybe line up on at fullback. A couple of names that I threw around before. Tyler Wagner, he's been up forward today, but he's got a bit of pace about him. Maybe it's about time that they have a crack with him down back. Some other, Jasper Hutchinson's another one maybe that they have a crack as well. So, look, a couple of players to be rotated through. And I guess in the situation the Panthers are in now, where he's mentioned it is a challenge, now's the time to shuffle the deck and have a crack.
Yeah, and they are playing one short in the second half. The general, Scott Lewis, jagging a hamstring halfway, a dodgy hamstring anyway, halfway through that second quarter, and came to the bench, was iced, had his hamstring iced and his boots off. So I'm thinking he's due for a bit more of a spell on the sidelines, maybe more than 2 or 3 weeks.
But teams now just warming up and going through their last little bits of discussion before we get this second half underway. A great crowd in here at Loxton this afternoon. It is Sponsors Day and Ladies' Day this afternoon, so we've got 2 functions going on here this afternoon. We're alongside the sponsors. 5M's big sponsor of the Riverland Football League, so we're invited to Sponsors Day everywhere, I would think. I'll be Norton. Yeah,
well, it's good. It's good that we turned up here, Lockie, knowing that was on. But actually, quite a bit of the times we've been to footy this year, it's either been Ladies' Day or Sponsors' Day, and it's
Past Players' Day.
Yeah, Past Players' Day. A reunion. There was a reunion or 2 going on, and
it's good to see clubs doing a bit more. For, what would you say? The supporters on the fringe, Nobby, I like to say it. It's about engaging the fringe.
I reckon it's. I got another word for it, Lockie. I think you're right with everything you said. I like it. I look at connection.
Oh yeah, I like
connection with the whole lot of the community, and I think, gone are the days when wifey or the partner stayed home with the kids and father went off to the football, perhaps with the sons, and had a day out. I think it's a day out for everyone now, isn't it?
Well, I'm seeing a lot of my mates with kids looking after their kids, and their partners are in the marquee. So,
yes.
So I think things have changed. Ball back to the centre. We're about to get this second half underway on what could be a big afternoon for Riverland Football League Premiership Season 2025. Some big scores at the moment already, and could be on the brink of seeing some more this afternoon.
It'll be interesting to see how the Panther coach, Dave Higgins, runs this interchange, because he's only got 2 options, and they are young fellas, so they will have legs. But, you really need to keep the pressure on the Tiger outfit, because they have been running loose and free and attacking at every opportunity.
There it is, siren sounds, the second half underway. The Panthers trail by 35, but it is a lovely sunny afternoon, no wind to speak of. Good tap from the Panthers. There's Petch, dives on it, and umpire says my ball.
Yeah, BBO right over the top of Carter right there. First hand on the ball, straight down Worsfold's throat. Up they go again. This time he gets it forward yet again. Handball, but to the Tigers. Ball comes out. John Fisher tried to break a tackle but was taken high, and will take a free kick for Loxton in the centre. Handballs it out to Jesse Will. Another handball across to Harley Campbell. Onto the left foot, drives the Tigers forward.
There's Romeo, can he run onto it? He can't, but it's Brown that tries to scoop it up. He has a couple of bites at it, and on the third go he gets it, brings it back inboard. Tigers looking dangerous. That was Talon-Eagle. He couldn't quite grasp it. Ball hits the deck, and umpire says my ball. The ball up. 15 out from the Tigers' goal. Less than a minute played. Eckerman
has continued with Brown in this second half. Maybe he's the best option for the Panthers, and he's just got to stick it out. Ball goes up. Snap out of the pack. Hits Josh Nelson from Loxton North on the chest at half-back. He looks up, switches the ball across, finds Michael Scott from Loxton North, who bursts out of half-back, drives up to the wing. Can't get a teammate. Ball heading out of bounds without being touched. That'll be a free kick to be taken by Deegan Roth here at half forward for Loxton.
So the Tigers now with the kick in.
Do you like the way I brought Barmer in?
I like it.
Just mixing it up.
Maybe Josh might be getting a transfer. Who knows? Kick up into the attacking 50, but an intercept mark has been paid to the Panthers skipper Cody Beaumard. So Loxton North take possession again.
Yeah, courageous intercept mark there by Beaumard. Had to back into the pack and take the mark in front of the Prince. He looks up, brings the ball out of defence, along the wing. No one can take the mark. Loxton player wrapped up. That was, I reckon, Deegan Roth again, wasn't it?
Yeah, good tackle from Wagner. A bit of pressure there. Got a bit of pace about him, Tyler Wagner. So, might be a name to pop up this afternoon. A ball up, grandstand side. Good tap from Brock Viney Opes. Hits a bit of space. Now Petch for Loxton North. Runs onto it. Good kick up to half forward, but it spilled out of bounds wide.
Yeah, a bit of a task for Jared Buckley there at half forward. Not only a task, it was out of bounds on the full. So ball brought back into play by Hayden Stevens. Chips across for Langy from Loxton, but he can't get clear. But he was taken without the footy. Didn't quite get his hands on it or take possession of it. So he'll take a free kick at half back for Loxton.
Yeah, good tackle from Liam Bastian, but yeah, just a little bit too late. So kick from Langy. It was Harley Campbell that flew up for the mark, but it was nowhere near the ball.
This is an interesting
Tigers
call.
Get the free kick anyway, Jesse Will, so there must have been a block before.
Yeah, he's been held in another contest, and Campbell took an unrealistic attempt at the mark, but the umpire had already blown his free kick to Will. That went to Riley Walton. He looked up, finds Deegan Rose in the middle for the Tigers. He goes back again for it. Couldn't get it. Handball out. Shoots out to Fisher. Fisher moves it on. Back to Campbell. Drives it in forward. But in the way is Judge Sherpick for Loxton North at centre half back.
So the Panther defence starting to hold up a bit. They have stemmed the flow from that 6-goal first quarter, but not really attacking the ball too much. So Loxton North trying to bring this one back in.
Hutchinson with the footy.
Look up to a contest, and Buckley got a hand on it, but so did about 3 other players. Now Bastian gets the handball out. Gets a kick away, does Loxton North through Noah Paul, up to the broadcast wing. Wagner was tackled without it. Umpire says play on. Liam Bastian handballed it when he was tackled. Now it's worse fault for Loxton North.
Clever kick.
Neil, and now Neil looks to the centre. Finds Nelson, who's got a bit of space. Pops over the top, and Loxton North, I reckon that's Nitschke. He's got it, no, it's Drake. Drake pops it inside 50 for Loxton North. Ryan Proud running onto it. It's wrapped short.
He's been held without it.
Yep. A free kick. Ryan Proud knows every trick in the book.
Yeah, he was reaching back to hold his player off the ball, and his opponent grabbed hold of his arm, and that was there. Loxton player not too happy about it, but Proud will take this shot at goal from about 40 metres out, a 45-degree angle. Distance not the problem, accuracy the test.
Ball's on the way. Hooks it left, it drifts but it doesn't come back enough, and that is a minor score for Loxton North. Takes them to 2-3-15. Loxton 8-1-49 on the very better scoreboard.
Yeah, positive moves there from the Panthers. They moved the ball along the wing without giving it back and had players running and on their own. So that was good to see. And that was Drake had burst free and got on his own to provide an option. So did Nitschke out there. Zach Nitschke provided an option.
So Panthers take the ball to the eastern wing. It's a fair kick out. No one able to take possession in the mark. Loxton,
Fisher.
And they run through a couple of players and they got a few numbers here. Good tackle from Neil. Is that holding the ball?
It is. Oh no, umpire's going to ball it up. That was Hayden Stevens at halfback for Loxton. He's had a fair game off halfback. Easy to find in those orange boots.
They fly up in the ruck towards Loxton's advantage. Caden Evans couldn't run onto it, but Campbell could. Kicks it inside 50. Brown shakes his opponent, runs into the goal. Point blank range. Kicks the first for the Tigers for the quarter.
And his fourth for the day. Takes the score to Loxton 9-1. 55, leading Loxton North 2-3-15. Brown has been dangerous all over the ground and has taken every advantage of the opportunities given to him in the forward lines.
Yeah, he just needs a bit of space. Bumped his player at the critical time. Mason Eckerman now, unfortunately, went to ground and Brown was able to pick up the crumbs and run into an open goal all of 2 metres out.
He's a class act, the Loxton captain, the Loxton coach, and so is the Loxton captain, by the way, Jesse Will. Both class acts, both having a fair influence on the game. Up the ball goes. Viney Oates up against Carter. Right, but no one able to get the ball clear. Stacks on the mill. Joel Worside, of course, where he normally is over the footy. Up it goes again. The big fellas wrestle. This time, Harley Campbell tries to come out with it.
Now it's Will through the cricket pitch. Just bombs it wide. So I reckon that's Caden Evans that couldn't quite get underneath it, but he read it like a textbook. Now tries to get the ball back again. 1 on to 2, and he's holding his own here, Caden Evans, and he's going to wrap him up. And that is great footy. The Panthers get it anyway, but Caden Evans managed to hold that in their attacking zone for quite some time. Loxton North now down the far wing. The punch back the other way. Loxton North, can they run under this?
Hutchinson handballs it through.
A couple of quick handballs and they take it down the eastern chute. Intercept from Stevens for the Tigers, who, as you mentioned, has been very handy on halfback today, Nobby North.
Yeah, he has. And look, a bit of fumble-bumble there, and no side able to get it clear. North had got it off halfback up to their half-forward line, but were unable to get some decisive possession. Up go the big fellas again. This time Viney Oates hits it forward, but only into the breadbasket of a Tiger player who's quickly wrapped up, so it'll be a secondary ball up. Up she goes. Big fella's in again. Panthers can't quite get the ball clear. That was Noah Paul trying to jam it on his boot. But back it comes. This time Campbell off halfback drives it out for Loxton North. For Loxton, but only as far as the North captain, Cody Vumo. Takes an intercepting mark and drives it into the middle.
Yeah, pitched the target, couldn't quite get it. Loxton get their hands on it. Now Scott for Loxton North. Back turns, shakes a couple of Tigers and kicks it up to half forward, but intercept again. And these mistakes starting to add up for Loxton North this afternoon. Burning the football, I think, would be a good way to describe it.
It's just a series of turnovers, isn't it? Evans knocks it forward and follows up. Brown this time, first to the footy again. Turns out of it, gets up and just misses. Nearly another goal. Turned Eckerman around. Not an easy thing to do because Eckerman's pretty agile, but Brown is just all over it. It's almost like he's spent it before he gets it. And Eckerman one-on-one with this fella. I don't think there's anyone on the ground that can go one-on-one with him, which is why Eckerman's ended up with the task.
Maybe it's one of the young players' turns to have a go and just say, you stay with him, stay on the inside and don't let him get the ball.
The ball comes out of defence. This time Eckerman takes the kick in and marks it from Jasper Hutchinson. He's on half-back, Mason Eckerman. Looks up, drives it out of defence for Loxton, but high towards Carter Wright. He's first to it, but couldn't bring it in for Loxton. Through goes Langy, misses a couple. Ball to the big fella BBO, taken to ground by 2 Tiger players. There'll be a ball up at half-back for Loxton North.
This is Fiver and Riverland football for McDonald's. Renmark, Carter Wright finds Westbrook, kicks it inside 50, but intercept from Loxton North. And Cody Vomard goes on the switch, looks for Buckley.
He's had a fair contest with Hayden Stevens all day. This time Stevens back and beats him, but can't get it clear. It's incorrect disposal. play to advantage the Panthers. Ryan Proud in front. Couldn't bring it in. It was ridden into the ground. But the umpire was right on the spot and said, no, fellas, I'll have it. I'm going to ball this up 40 metres out from the Loxton North goal.
Yeah, look, it's an interesting one, the matchups today. And that one in defence is really hurting Loxton North. Ball up, still inside there, attacking 50. They've had a couple of bites at the cherry today, and that's going to be play on. A couple of hands on it. Umpire says, yep, no, keep going. My ball, he now says, ball up, 30 out.
It's almost like if you're Loxton North, you might as well roll the dice, move it as quick as you can, get it out into space and try and run onto it.
Ball up, and now Neil gets his hands on it, but he was wrapped up.
See, there's a player, for example, Neil shouldn't be inside. He should be out ripping past the pack. Josh Bader style, you know.
So another ball up. Umpire says play on. Now ball up. Umpire says my ball eventually.
So in goes Worsfold for North to get in under this footy. Up go the big fellas. This time Liam Bastian tries to knock it forward. Goes to a Loxton North player who has a ping at goal but kicks it out on the full in the forward pocket.
Yeah, it was Noah Paul, unfortunately. So Loxton with the ball now in their back pocket. 11 minutes played, third quarter, pops it up and finds Luke Salmon.
He's had a fair game, Luke Salmon.
Just looking at some of the matchups, what are the Panthers going to do? Up to half back. Here's Campbell. Didn't quite get it. Nelson now over the boundary will get a ball in.
Yeah, clever play there from the veteran. Allowed Campbell to grab him up and throw him over the boundary line for a boundary throw in. He comes from the ground, on comes Cooper Petch, taking Nelson's place, so they'll need to keep rotating. Viney Opes up in the ruck, couldn't get his hand on it, out the back of the pack as Riley Walton gets a handle to it, tries to knock it to Caden Evans. He couldn't get it. Cooper Petch took possession and Evans wrapped him up, and it'll be another ball up.
So a ball up on the broadcast wing. Opes taps it down to Worsfold. Didn't have too many options, and umpire says I'll have it again.
Yeah, Worsfold first hands to the ball, but wrapped up by Harley Campbell. Up it goes again. Up goes Opes again, gets it down. Only to a Loxton player who kicks forward. Oh, lovely little touch there from Jesse Will. One hand touch there through to Spiro Polymiotis, who drives it forward. On his left foot was Ross Romeo, taking the ball off hands, snapped at goal, but kicked it out of bounds on the full.
So minor score. Oh no, nothing.
Out of bounds on the full. Will be a free kick to the Panthers deep in their defence.
So Loxton North needing to look for a spark soon. They trail by 41. 12 and a half minutes played. Third quarter. Kick out. Loxton North goes to the eastern wing. But it doesn't quite make it that far. Still at half back. It's going to spill out of bounds. Umpires that's holding the ball first.
Yeah, having a dirty day, Mason Eckerman. Got hold of it that time, but wrapped up by Ross Romeo, who got him for holding the ball because he had a bit of prior opportunity. So Romeo, 45 metres out, goes short, but over the top of Brown and cut out this time by Eckerman. Sorry, it wasn't Eckerman who got it.
Now's the time to put Mace Eckerman on the ball.
Yeah, he's getting a bit of it.
Out of defence.
He's getting a bit of it. Like, he's having a fair dinkum go, but that one's pulled in by the big fella, and Liam Bastian takes the mark. Oh, kicks into the man on the mark. Brown goes into Brown's hands. He tries to get the ball forward for the Tigers, but Bastian back in over it, the big fella, and gets caught high. It's a free kick for the Panthers off half-back. Plays on up the wing.
Intercept mark from Loxton.
Shay Langy out there.
He's going to go on the switch. No, decides against that. Just inboard a little bit on a short 45.
So they got 5 too many out there. There was 5 of them, literally. You could throw your tea towel over them.
Now, Polymiotis up inside, attacking 50. Just pushed forward to Prince. Couldn't quite get it. Jesse Will handballs out. Finds a teammate. That's Riley Bolton. That's a goal. And the Tigers extend the lead on what is a glorious day at Tigerland.
I must say, Lockie, that to anyone who's listening in, Jesse Will's use of the football today, mostly by hand, the handball has been very decisive. He's a good kicker, as we know, but he's used some really good handball to open up and put his teammates into play.
For me, he's in my top 3 for the Murray Pioneer best on ground.
Got a few ticks in my book. Mind you, he's got a few mates too. There's a few Tiger players all having a red hot go here today, and just run through them for you to give you a clue. Salmon, Campbell, Brown, Will, Hunter Westbrook, Shay Lange off half-back, Caden Evans. There's a few getting a part of it.
Yeah, there's not too many passengers on the Tiger bus today. They're all driving it.
Yeah, the balls, that was a good passage of football, wasn't it? With and what's happening is the confidence in the Tiger lineup is they keep presenting, they keep running through, and it's decisive handling of the footy.
It's exciting attacking footy too. 10 goals too, still in the third quarter. There's not too many RFL teams that have done that semi-consistently this year.
The Prince into ruck against the big fella Bastion.
Now
North come out with it this time.
Drake kicks it inside 50. Nitschke couldn't quite get his hands on it. Has a couple of bites. Loxton defenders are hungry and they dive on it.
See, that's the difference. Nitschke couldn't quite get a handle on it. Took him a couple of attempts to try and get it. If that was Loxton, it'd be one grab, handball. The handling of their ball has been so much better by the Tigers. Comes out of defence this time. Lovely mark there. Got to pay that one. This mark's been taken.
Jai Drake pops it out to Hutchinson. Kicks it to attacking 50, but intercept. And there is Tigers everywhere here.
Lange comes out of half-back, drives it long down the middle towards Eagle. Eagle's outnumbered here, but and has the ball shuffled off him. A bit of a 1-1 with himself. Kicked into the man twice, did Bastion there, and got it back. Kicked it into the next Tiger. Now it's come out again, and he handballs it out.
Now Scott shakes the tackle, gets a handball out to Hutchinson. Back to Michael Scott. He's conceding ground. He's got no options. Kicks inside, attacking 50 to a contest. No one front and centre except Loxton. And they're going to clear this out, except the umpire has seen something.
Yeah, it's a lovely tackle. Lovely tackle there by Nitschke. And tackled hard, and he's being rewarded for that. The other thing I like is coach has brought Hutchinson up into play. He's a good young footballer. Can't be wasting him in the back line. Bring him up ground, and he's had a couple of good touches. I'll be almost playing him on a centre wing, I reckon. Try and get him in play.
Yeah, you can't afford to be locking down teams now.
No.
The Panthers, Nitschke kicks from the paint at 50. It's got a bit of length about it, but it's a bit on the inaccurate side.
Yeah, into the breeze, but made the distance for a point. Loxton North, 2 goals, 4-16, trailing Loxton 10-62.
Yeah, it's been a big afternoon.
On the very better scoreboard.
It's been a big afternoon for the Tigers, that is for sure. They take the kick out up to half-back. Punched forward, though, for Loxton North. Drake shuffles it out of bounds and will get a ball in.
Yeah, lovely spoil there by Judge Sherpick. He is strong in the air. Not often he gets outmarked, and he didn't. That was Carter Wright going forward, and Sherpick right with him, punching the ball away. In it comes on the half-forward line. Bastion up. Fisher tries to come out of the pack, but it's wrapped up by 2 Loxton North players. We'll go back to the umpire for another ball up at half-forward for Loxton North.
Liam Bastion couldn't quite get his hands on it. It's Michael Scott that got there first. Good tackle from Loxton. That is holding the ball. Spiro Polymiidis, great bit of play on half-back.
Tyler Wagner way too slow with that. Been called to play on at half-back. Polymiidis gets the ball smothered. Brown tries to knock it on for Loxton, but couldn't get it out. And in goes Cooper Petch, receives a high tackle from the Loxton coach. And he'll come back, take a free kick at half-forward for Panthers, drives them deep down the middle towards the goals. Looking for Viney Oates, shuffled under the ball. Ball comes out to Proud, he handballs it out to Nitschke, getting a few touches this quarter, but can't find the scoreboard, and that's rushed through for a behind. Takes Loxton North at 2-5-17, trailing Loxton 10-2-62 on the very better scoreboard.
Loxton waste no time on the kick out. They get it up to half-back, but Loxton North think otherwise, and it's drilled back inboard through Petch. To a contest, spills to the pocket. It's a foot race, trying to pick this one up. Loxton North holding it in, spills out a little bit, and now it's the Tigers, the black and yellow army. They bomb it out to the centre square. No one able to take possession.
Sherpick
couldn't get there. Loxton North trying to rake it back in and hold it up. It's a matter of
Judge Sherpick guarding his man, but then came off him and nearly grabbed that and rebounded, but couldn't quite get a handle on it. Up the ball goes, in the middle of the ground. Handball comes out from Loxton. Can't find a teammate. This time it's Tyler Wagner. Shoots a big handball forward, but out comes Lange. Takes possession, finds the Prince from Loxton in the middle, but he turns it over to Jasper Hutchinson from Loxton North, who will drive the Panthers forward from centre wing.
Getting a bit of it this quarter, Jasper Hutchinson. 19 minutes played, coming up to the 20-minute mark. They all flew up. Rothy couldn't get a hand on it when he went for the mark. Now Petch handballs back to Drake for Loxton North. To the top of the 50.
Nice kick.
Looking for a target. Spills forward. James Neal for Loxton North. Gets his hand on it, but overcooks the handball. And it's going to be Loxton through Westbrook that hand it back to Shane Lange. Lange now, big booming handball to the scoreboard side. It went past the coach, Nathan Brown, but he was tackled.
Pushing the back.
Says, pushing the back. It's a free kick.
Yeah, he went back, and what I was about to say was that it's a lot of fumbling going on here, but a lot of pressure on the ball. The Panthers having a red-hot go here. They're not going down without a bit of a struggle. Brown chips it across on the switch, comes across, finds Rollins at full-back. He just nurses a little 9-iron up towards teammate in Nick Casitas. He drives it deep, looking for Jesse Will, pushes off his opponent. 2 bites, but cannot mark it. Taken to ground without it, but umpire can't see it. In goes Brock Salmon, but the ball will be a ball up.
62 plays 17 on the Berry Better scoreboard. 5 in Riverland football. Ball up. Grandstand side. Umpire says ruck infringement. It's going to be a free kick to Loxton.
To Prince, to
Will. Kicks up to the right forward flank for Eagle, who kicks it nearly out of bounds on the full off the foot soccer, but it's going to be a ball in.
That was below the knee. Good call by the ump. Below the knee.
It's nearly out on the full anyway.
Well, he decided to say throw it in. I think the reason there was he didn't actually have possession of it, before he disposed of it.
Be a controlled possession out of bounds.
No controlled possession.
Ball in. Bastion taps forward. Petch runs onto it. Fisher. Intercept from Wagner. He tries to break the tackle. Calls for holding the ball, but umpire says my footy. 22 minutes nearly played, third quarter Riverland footy on 5RM.
Lockie, I'm liking your call about Wagner potentially back on that defensive position because he has a fair bit of strength about him and he's got the pace and he doesn't mind mixing it. So I know he's going okay up here on the ball. I think he has, Petch has Jesse Will as an opponent. In it goes, half-back line for Loxton North. Bastion hands up but couldn't get it. That was Will trying to burst through the pack with it. Hard man to tag Jesse Will. I mean, Petch is having a go, but he's on the move. Here he goes again.
Spills it out, finds a teammate. Now it's going to be Loxton that drill it through Salmon Brock to the right forward pocket, but Loxton managed to pick that one up.
Fumart again, another intercept mark. Looks up, finds Nelson in the middle of the ground. He looks to get it on. He's got options out wide. This is what Panthers need to do. They need to keep the ball moving. Out to Petch, Dylan. Handball over to Neal. Another handball, not to anyone in particular. He's got legs. I don't know why he didn't take him on, James Neal, unless he's out of gas.
Yeah, it's going to be a ball up. Scoreboard side. Yeah, it was an interesting one. It was almost a handball to space, but it was Loxton that got there first.
So up it goes. Wright gets his hand to it, but not before the siren goes. And here we are at the three-quarter time at the Loxton Oval. Loxton 10-2-62, leading Loxton 2-5-17 on the Berry Better scoreboard.
This is 5 in Riverland football. We'll go around the grounds with Trevor Scott in the sideline views studio. Thank you, Trevor Scott, doing a fine job as always. Fourth quarter about to get underway here at Loxton. It's going to be a big task for the Panthers. They have managed to stem the flow, but a big first quarter from Loxton really has set up quite an impressive lead at three-quarter time. They're up by 45 points. Nobby Norton's alongside me. Nobby, your thoughts before we look at how the Panthers might be able to salvage something from this?
Look, I think it was a much better effort that quarter by the Panthers, and like I said, down to 2 only on the bench with Scott Lewis off with a hamstring injury before half-time. So that's testing a little bit. But the young fellas having a red-hot go here. But, gee whiz, the Tigers have been the complete outfit today and scoring at will when they go forward. They look quite impressive. Mostly the coach, Nathan Brown, with 4 goals. And Harley Campbell early in the game in the first half had 2 of his own. Panthers have found it tough to get scoring opportunities. Here we go, ball about to go up. Brock Viney-Oakes in opposition to Carter Wright, who gets first hand on it, knocks it straight down the throat of Harley Campbell, but he can't burst free. So it'll be a secondary bound up. The big fellas go again. Campbell gets it again, but can't get free. It was sort of like an instant, sort of like Groundhog Day there. Same again, Lockie.
Just about, and we're going to go again. Tap in board, but it's Jesse Will from Loxton that read it well. Kicks it inside 50, but a great defensive mark from the Panther captain in Cody Beaumont, who brings it grandstand wing, finds Pedge. Loxton North, trailing by 45. Just looking for a target. And this is where Loxton have been able to shut Loxton North down a fair bit today, and that's a wobbly old kick. Up, up, and that's the mark of the day. Tyler Wagner, a bit of airtime for Loxton North, right in front of the grandstand, and then what is the best mark of the day, possibly the worst kick of the day straight after. It's gone out of bounds on the full.
Maybe he's still oxygen-starved, Lockie Winnell, and he was up that high. That is gold medal already. That will not be beaten today, unless, of course, Harley Campbell produces something.
Mark it down. Ball comes back the other way in a contest, and Michael Scott from Loxton North just holding his arm, but manages to get up because he's tough. Because Nobby Norton, he's a Marook Junior, of course.
Yeah, he is. Lived 2 screw, not even a screw punt away from the oval. Up goes Loxton North, big fella there. In Jared Buckley, tried to get a handle on it. Look, I think if you're a Panthers supporter or a Panthers player here, you're looking to win the quarter.
Yeah, you've got to salvage something.
You've got to finish with something, yep.
So tap, now it's Worsfold for Loxton North, kicking to the Pine Avenue end, which has been the scoring end, albeit first. Bastian turns around, kicks it up in the air. It's gone about 50 metres straight up, and that's going to
get out of there.
Bounce back. That's a goal.
There's the goal of the day.
Umpires are going to have some discussions here, but this could be a goal, and the Panthers
here
might have their first.
Up they go.
Their first for the quarter and their first since the first quarter as well.
Gee whiz, stay tuned. We got some action on the goal of the day and the mark of the day, that's for sure.
Well, all within a minute of each other. It was action aplenty. They bring the margin.
Did I get that
39.
right? That was Buckley on that one? It was
no, Bastian.
I'll tell you what, that was a leg break that the late great Shane Warne would have been proud of, I think.
That was out of control.
That was not just the flipper, that was the wrong one.
That came all out of the rough.
Yeah.
Get the pace bowlers 4 days worth of sprint marks on the cricket pitch there. Say it was a raging turner that you see in Mumbai.
It was, and don't worry, that turned 3 times. Up goes Brock Viney-Oakes, gets the ball clear, this time to Worsfold. He dishes off the handball to Neil for Loxton North, who drives it forward. Through goes Wagner and kicks another goal.
And the Panthers are on the charge. 2 goals in a minute. The margin back to 33 for 5:29. Trailing Loxton 10-62. Tell you what, where's this spark been all day for the Panthers?
Lockie, when you called this earlier about Tyler Wagner, about how he should have been maybe put back, but he was having a red-hot go. You obviously saw that in his play. And in this last quarter, he's come out, taken an absolute hanger, mark of the day by far, and almost kicked the goal of the day there, but for the goal of his teammate just prior to that.
It's a big early bit of the quarter for the Panthers already. It's only 4 minutes gone.
Viney-Oakes gets it again and over the top to Worsfold.
They're going to get another clearance
handball
here.
out.
The pitch inside 50, it drops short. Panthers have got a few runners. The Tigers, Neil couldn't quite get it. And there he is, Jesse Will, the Tigers captain in a paddock of his own. Just holds station, drills it down the eastern wing. A bit of a standoff now, and we'll get a ball up.
Gee whiz, that brought the crowd alive, didn't it, if nothing else?
I tell you what, 2 quick goals from the Panthers.
Yeah, a bit of respectability back in the scoreline. Loxton 10-2-62. Loxton North 4-5-29 on the very better scoreboard. Ball goes up at centre wing. Petch again. Comes out of the pack. Dylan Petch gets it on his left foot, but chopped out by Will and a kick behind the play. The experience, no, it might be Langy, I think. Shay Langy. Yep, looks up, shoots it across the middle, but cut out by a Panther player. Through comes Vumart. He's had a red-hot go all day.
I know the quarter's only early, but we're starting to see a little bit of what Loxton have done to Loxton North the other way around. His intercept marks, taking the game on, kicking at all costs. I don't know, maybe they've both borrowed the game plan.
I'm wondering whether Tigers thought, well, we'll just go through the motions and get out. This Petch again from Loxton North with a handball to Josh towards Nelson. Can't get it clear. Worsfold wraps up his opponent, his Tiger opponent, and there'll be a ball up. I'm just wondering whether Loxton come out a little bit too complacent and all of a sudden those couple of goals have woken them back up.
Yeah, Caden Evans at the bottom of that one as well. So ball up on the far wing at Loxton. Good tap from the Loxton North ruckman, but it was Harley Campbell for Loxton that managed to read that and kicks it up to the top of the 50.
Oh, nice.
Talon Eagle couldn't quite mark it. Ball spills out. Panthers try and capitalise on this. A couple of quick handballs back to Petch. Now Hutchinson, but it was smothered. Nitschke paddles it back inboard for Loxton North. They've still kind of got their hands on it. Campbell is in there as well for Loxton. Arguing for it, hungry for it, and that's what a coach likes to see. Ball up.
Gee, you know you got a contest when Zach Nitschke's around. He runs in straight lines and hunts that football.
Noma Sudakaso today for the Panthers, who is kind of their hard man around the contest. Loxton North, they win the clearance up to half forward. Clean bowled straight through. It's Buckley, the ruckman, a battle trying to run onto it. Loxton North, they've got a couple of numbers here. Neil runs over the paint at 50, takes a bounce, shakes his opponent, kicks from 35 out. Has it got the accuracy? It has.
James Neal.
The Panthers' third goal in the quarter. They bring the margin back to 27. Tell you what.
James Neal with his second goal of the game, and that's the pace he's got to use. That's his number one wood, that pace. And he's used it. He's burst out of the pack, took a bounce. I thought he was just about due for that second bounce, but he jammed it on the boot and got it through for the big ones.
Maybe, just maybe. You mentioned the C word being complacency before, Nobby Norton, and maybe it has started to eke into this Tiger side. We'll see how they respond here. 5-0 Riverland football from McDonald's Renmark. 7 minutes play, fourth quarter.
Jonah Wooldridge on and up forward inside that forward 50. Up goes Viney Oates again against Wright. Can't get a hand on it, but taps it free. Petch in the middle there, having a fair contest with the Loxton skipper Jesse Will. Will's been good all day, but Cooper's had his bits and pieces too, you know. He's done all right. He's been very influential in this last quarter.
Ball up, still in the middle.
Worsfold kicks it out
to Buckley. Handball's back to Neil. Neil kicks from 35 straight in front. It's another goal for the Panthers. And Loxton North have come alive in this fourth quarter. They've waited 3 quarters for this. The margin's back to 21.
2 in a row for Neil, 4 in a row for Loxton North in this quarter. Can it happen? Stay tuned. It might.
Dream.
It might.
Well, funnily enough, Nobby Norton, we were talking at three-quarter time with our good friend Lockie Dan from the Murray Pioneers alongside us, just taking some notes. And we recalled round 1 when we went to Waikerie, and it was the Waikerie Magpies and the Loxton Tigers. Now, the Waikerie Magpies had a fair controlling lead for 3 quarters of that game until a 10-minute burst from the Tigers, and they got back within a couple of points. They didn't quite win it, but
this time the Tigers are on the receiving end.
Maybe it's the opposite way around today. It's eerily similar.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, no one's left the ground. It's on. Don't turn your wireless off. This time, Brock Viney Oates to Worsfold. Worsfold slams it on the boot and gets Panthers forward again.
Wooldridge trying to run it, wraps him up. That's holding the ball. Free kick to the Panthers on the right forward flank. Noah Paul getting into the game. Wastes no time. Kicks into the attacking 50. Bastian, the target, spills over the back. Nathan Brown, the Tigers coach, now in defence.
Ball comes out wide to Westbrook. He takes the mark for Loxton, half-back, drives him up to the wing, but Sherpick in the way here. Couldn't quite pull it in for Loxton North, but gets up, gets it back, shoots it across the middle. Teammate drives him in yet again. This time the big fella's right there for Loxton North, but he can't get his hand on it. Gee, the forward pressure's come on, hasn't it? The Tigers unable to get that ball out and rebound it like they were in the first 3 quarters.
And the other thing it's done, if Nathan Brown's in defence, who's scoring for the Tigers?
Well, that was
still inside, attacking 50 for Loxton North, just coming up to the 10-minute mark soon. They trail by 21 points.
That was always going to be the best way to stop Nathan Brown from scoring, keep it up the other end.
Tap boundary side. The Panthers from the pocket. Has that gone through? Oh, I reckon it has. And that could be the goal of the day.
Who kicked that one?
I reckon it was Noah Paul. Or Ryan Proud. I couldn't quite see who got that one. It was behind the play, and it's a wild kick from the pocket. One of those, a true kick and hope.
Should I give it to Ryan Proud, Lockie?
Oh, just ask around and see who might have kicked that one.
Anyway, it takes the scoreboard to Loxton 10-62, Loxton North 7-5-47. Game on.
It's a game on for sure.
On the very better scoreboard.
Just 2 kicks and a point would level it.
Then we got
a couple of points.
Very better
3
goals
kicks
of the day happening everywhere here, and one we don't even know who kicked it, but we think it might be goal of the day. If we can find out who kicked it, we'll give it to him.
I'm going to put down unknown.
I've got Ryan Proud down for it, and I'll see. With a question mark next.
Bounced at right angles, ball back to the centre. It's North with another clearance. Up to half forward. It's Buckley that takes the mark. Turns back inboard. Looking for a player. Ryan Proud, his opponent got it. Here's James Neal from Loxton North. Gets a couple of metres on his opponent. Now it's tackle, wrap, take the ground. Umpire says holding the ball. It's going to be a free kick to the Tigers. There's Nathan Brown. Kicks it to the scoreboard wing. Punch forward, pushed out. Ball loose, wobbling to the boundary line. And there's Harley Campbell. Gets around his player. Back inboard to Hunter Westbrook. Pops it inboard and finds Riley Walton. The Tigers now starting to settle.
Gee, Loxton North, here they come though. Cross to Ross Romeo, right in the centre of the ground for Loxton. Drives them forward yet again. Lovely kick to Brock Salmon. Handball's out to Fisher. Handball on to Caden Evans.
It's a free kick. It's been brought back. If anything, it probably helps the Panthers a bit here. Because it
back to Fisher. Fisher drives it in long. Up they go.
Unable to mark it for the Tigers at dangerous.
William Nitsky with that for the Panthers. Couldn't get it clear. Gee, they're hunting, aren't they? The Panthers, they haven't given up the ghost here.
There's still time. 12 minutes gone. 4th quarter Riverland footy on 5RM.
You can't help but think that this next goal's super important. If Loxton get it, they'll probably win. But if they don't, look out.
It was Noah Paul that handballed to space. Nathan Brown got his hands on it. Pops it in front of Caden Evans. He takes it out of bounds. And we'll get a ball in.
Brown's put himself on ball in trying to get that ball forward into their forward lines to arrest this Loxton North rampaging effort in the last quarter.
So tap forward, Worsfold breaks through the wall. Kicks up the broadcast wing looking for Bastian. It went over the back. It's a foot race. Bastian, does it pop up for him? No, it doesn't. He runs over it. Now he dives back on it. Tackles, taken to ground. Umpire says my ball. Probably lucky because it might have been a bit high and there's a bit of a scuffle going on.
But for a bounce, Bastian was off with that. If he got the bounce, he was on, and they were.
Rollins thought he had the free kick there for being taken high, but umpire says no. It's a ball up. North's attacking half forward flank.
Gee, how important has Joel Worsfold been in this last quarter? Just getting that ball clear of the pack and getting it on.
I'm starting to wonder, maybe that pace of Loxton that's maybe dropped out a little bit, it's brought them back to the Panthers' speed a bit, and that's when they've got back into this game.
Here he goes through. He goes Loxton North. Tyler Wagner having another go. Ball comes out of defence from Loxton, but it's been kicked out of bounds. Last disposal. Petch will take this free kick right in front of us. That's Cooper. That's Dylan Petch looking to drive the Panthers forward. I don't think you can muck around with short kicks, Dylan. Just go as long and close as you can to your goals.
Nearly hit into the man on the mark, Jesse Will.
Big fella up again.
Is Salmon trying to break through the pack, and umpire says my ball.
Gee, the two big fellas up forward, Jared Buckley in particular is presented, and also Liam Bastian resting up there while BBO's run on ball. have been influential.
Oh, good tap from BVO
Buckley.
into Buckley. Takes it out of bounds and will get a ball in.
Yeah, good umpiring by the umpires here. They've decided, look, they're only going to pay the absolute obvious ones, and it's game on, play on.
15 points the margin.
On the very better scoreboard as the ball comes into play on the Loxton North half-forward line. Viney Opes up, gets a hand to it, but can't get it free. But look who's on it straight away. Loxton player, but who's on him? Joel Worsfold.
Sense that the Tigers have almost stopped thinking about scoring and just trying to lock this down, but I don't think they've got enough margin to do that. They've got to keep scoring. Tigers now saying that they managed to clear this one out, and there's Caden Evans back into the game. Just kicks
lovely
it out
kick,
to Smith.
lovely kick to
Smith at half forward. He turns, plays on, kicks to the pocket. Brown the target, and he takes a couple of bites but marks it. It's a fair way from home.
What would you do here? Go back, take your time.
Knowing Nathan Brown doesn't give up a goal, so I think he's going to have a crack.
He's looking for an option, but the thing about Nathan Brown, he'll hold this, making it he's having a shot, use the clock and wait for a lead to come.
So, kicking on a fair angle, will be kicking from what, all of 50. Gives himself a couple of metres inboard, gives it a fair roost, but it's going to drop a bit shallow.
Finish left, that's Loxton 10-3-63, leading Loxton North 7-5-47 on the very better score in a game which has really come alive in this last quarter.
Oh, it's certainly been lit up, that is for sure. It's ignited.
Scott out of half back for Loxton North, looking for the big fellas up forward. Taken by Nitschke, took possession with one hand, taken to the ground. Campbell drags him up off the ground. It's a little bit of push and shove here, but it's only a couple of young roosters.
Having a crack this afternoon. Petch got the hard tag on Will. Brock Viney Opes couldn't quite get it. Umpire says free kick to Loxton here.
Free kick to Evans. He's been in and under all day, hasn't he? Been a great player for him. Looks up, goes across the ground to Langy, who moved just at the right time for the Tigers, and he's taken the mark right in the centre of the ground.
Yeah, Langy did the deliberate drop there, trying to get a 25 metre, but the umpire saw straight through that, Shay. Pops it up, finds Salmon. Still inside the centre square in Nobby Norton, drills it to the far pocket.
Looking for Talon Eagle and finds him on a good long lead. He takes it on his chest, goes back, marks the spot. Talon Eagle's going to use every second he has available to him here to go back and have a set shot at goal, with the Loxton Tigers leading 63-47. 16-point margin on the very better scoreboard as time ticks on in this quarter.
Yeah, 17 minutes gone on the Ricatera Wine Room clock. Now open in Renmark. 45-degree angle. How's the distance here, Nobby?
Look, I think he'll make it, and the flag's hanging straight down. There's virtually no breeze here. He's given it a fair hoik. Umpire's not moved. It's through the middle. And that's the sealer probably for the Tigers.
Steadies the ship at least. 22 points the margin now after a big surge from Loxton North. Talon Eagle.
It's his second goal for the day after a 5-goal burst in this quarter from the Loxton North Panthers. He kicked 5 in a row and were really threatening to perhaps steal this game from the Tigers. But I'd say here we are, the Tigers with a 22-point lead as the seconds tick by in this game. But gee whiz, you cannot fault the Panthers for their having a red-hot go, albeit in one quarter.
Yeah, the lights are now on here at Loxton. A few shadows starting to creep across the oval, but the sun's still peeking through.
Oh, lovely
North
hit out.
Haven't given up yet. Joel Worsfold, a good pick-up up to half forward. Good little intercept, but Tyler Wagner breaks a couple of tackles. Umpire says free kick, taken high.
Gee whiz, has he come alive in this last quarter, Tyler Wagner? Just drill it, champ.
Hot feet inside the attacking 50, drop short of Buckley. Now Nelson, the milestone man himself, taking the ground on the mud spot. Now good tackle, and umpire says my ball, a ball up, 40 out.
Lovely bit of football in the middle bounce with that hit out from Brock Viney Opes to Worsfold. Worsfold's been very, very influential in this last quarter, getting Panthers forward.
Ball up, North, Loxton try and drag it out, but umpire says I'll go again.
There he is again, Worsfold, directly opposing Harley Campbell. And you'd say that while Campbell had the spoils at half time, Worsfold's answered. Pretty good arm wrestle that duel.
Certainly exciting. Tap from Bastian. Umpire says...
Yeah, over the shoulder. Over the shoulder of the Loxton ruckman in Carter Wright. Carter will take the free kick in. Absolutely no hurry to get on with this. Goes wide. Chips it across to Rollins at half-back for Loxton. He takes the mark at half-back. Looks up. Looks for Brock Salmon on the lead at just inside the centre square. He takes the mark for Loxton. Then shoots it across to Westbrook from Loxton. Hunter Westbrook. Loxton playing a little bit of keepings off here.
Well, they've probably got the margin and the time now, coming up to the 20-minute mark. The lead by 22. Pops it up, grandstand side, eagle the target, but spills out of bounds and we'll get a ball in. 22 points the margin. Yeah,
critical lead and goal by Eagle. It sealed the game for him, but when there was just a few minutes left and the Panthers charging hard with 5 quick goals, looking to take the game away. Ball goes in, it's boundary. Worsfold again, this time moved off it. Through comes Caden Evans, who's had a fair game as well. Picks it up on the right foot, shoots it out towards Cale Smith up forward. He gets his hand to it, but chopped out by Judge Sherpick. Through with pace goes Jai Drake. Sherpick follows up off the ground again, getting that ball forward for the Panthers, but through comes Hayden Stevens. Couldn't get clear of his opponent. Caught for holding the ball. Loxton North to take the free kick at centre wing.
Yeah, Jai Drake with the ball. Waste no time. Pops it up to the left forward flank. Now over the paint at 50. Tigers have got a bit of pace. Now it spills out. Just a wobbly old kick inside 50 to no one. Petch. Can he scoop it up off the deck? He can't. Wrapped up, taking the ground. Umpire says, my ball.
I reckon the play was allowed to go on there, and the umpire's done a good job. And the players, I think, running out of gas, had enough. They were wanting the umpire to ball it up so they could suck in the air.
You call it a slow, you call it a rolling stop.
Through goes Nitsky. Couldn't get through. Had a crack.
Now Jesse Will, one of the best this afternoon for Loxton and the game. Takes a couple of bounces, ekes a bit of time out of this one, and just drills it to the scoreboard wing at Loxton. Oh no, good mark from Cale Smith. He got the handball off the deck, and that was wayward. Now Loxton North scoop this one up and bring it up to half forward. It's gone to no one, and Wooldridge gets a kick away, a wobbly old kick up forward.
Could he?
And Bastian, it's wobbling out of bounds, and it goes out of bounds. It just beats the Panther ruckman.
Hayden Stevens, the Tiger defenders, come from the ground, cramped up, out of breath. Gee whiz, he's given absolutely everything he's had today, and been one of their better performers. They've had a lot, but he's been hard amongst it all day.
He might get a mention in the Hardest Worker Award this afternoon.
Well, he's worked himself into a
best defender, maybe.
Yep.
Still inside North's attacking zone. They trail by 22.
I think the game's nearly done, but what a game it's been. Even if it's been Loxton dominant for 3/4, but gee whiz, the Panthers, they didn't give up.
Well, in a game when the Tigers at one stage led by 51, the Panthers have managed to salvage something today.
It's that sort of season, isn't it? On any given day, in any quarter, you almost feel like a team can just cut loose and win a game.
And I'm excited by this young Loxton side. I'm thinking about teams we've seen in recent weeks, Renmark, Barmer, Monash and Waker in. I'll tell you what, the Tigers on their day, I reckon they can beat anyone.
Salmon tries to come out of defence. Evans, Caden, boom. Oh, I think it'll be on here. I think there'll be a bit going on here.
Okay. 23 minutes gone, and any hope of this game continuing, I think, might be done, because this could be a busy week for the RFL here.
It was a late tackle and a dangerous tackle, and you could see it was just waiting to happen, wasn't it?
And umpires say play on, and Caden Evans just runs away with the ball. And umpire says play on.
Umpire's going to give him another one here.
And he's going to be brought back to the centre. So it was a 25-metre. So it was two 25-metre penalties there after that one.
Not a bad lot of officiating here to actually take the sting out of it and take it down and get the game back on.
I thought the game might have finished then, just quiet. Now it's Salmon, runs through the middle, pops it up to the top of the 50, the key.
Carter Wright takes the mark at true centre half forward for Loxton. Drives them forward, short, looking for and getting Talon Eagle again on a lead.
He's one of the Tigers' favourites, and he's going to take all the seconds in this game that's left. Oh, no, decides against that.
Yeah, Jesse Will ran past him, ran forward and said, kick it to me, son, kick it to me. I'm your skipper, and I'm just going to go forward 15 metres so you can find me, and we'll take up another 30 seconds of time.
Well, he's normally good for a goal or two a game, and he hasn't had one today, so...
He's played a very interesting game of footy where he's used his craft, his centre craft, his hands, his handball, his body position to create.
So, kicking from a 45-degree angle on the left pocket to the Bukpanong Road end at Loxton. Gives himself a metre or two, gives it a fair roost. Still in board, drops short.
Yeah, Sherpick punches the ball forward. Nelson runs onto it for Loxton North. Drives out as far as he can. Hits Brock Viney, opens on the chest, bounces off, but he gathers it again. Handballs across, through goes Neil. They're trying to get the ball moving, aren't they, the Panthers, towards their goals.
Yeah, it's on the intercept. Now a loose footy. Wagner on halfback, brings it in board.
There it is.
A win for the Tigers. And the yellow and black keep their season well and truly alive and could be scaring a couple of other sides. 11-3, 69 Loxton, defeating Loxton North 7-5, 47. A big afternoon of Riverland football, that is for sure. We will go around the grounds and do a full wrap-up, but what a game of football it was. Trevor Scott in the sideline view studio. It's been a big fourth quarter.